On today's show, we return to Willowbank Raceway on the outskirts of Brisbane for our continued coverage of the New Year Thunder, doubling as round 2 of the 2019-20 Thunder season. This week we bring you all the action from Pro Stock, Pro Bike and the 400 Thunder Sportsman series. Then we head over to the UK and to the home of British motor racing, Silverstone, for rounds 25 to 27 of the 2019 British Touring Car Championship. This is Speedweek.
Tremaine still in front, Hedges coming out in, this is so close. There was a whole shot on there for Radnott, he got out in front, Worcester's got the horsepower to run round him though. Welcome to Willowbank Raceway at Ipswich in Queensland. We're at the New Year Thunder, the first event of this decade. On today's show, we're going to be looking at Pro Stock, Pro Bike and the Sportsman finals from this event. It all kicked off in the late afternoon with a parade of drivers in front of the crowd and a great range of classic vehicles as well. Brought all of those Pro Stock and Pro Bike races up. We're going to kick the show off with the Pro Stock category. And this is round 2 of the championship. It began down at Sydney Dragway. Getting his breakthrough win at that event was Jason Hedges. Let's have a look at the 400 Thunder official merchandise scoreboard. Up on top is the Sydney side of Hedges with 105. Ahead of defending champ Aaron Tremaine. Wayne Daly's right up there with a Dodge. Rob Deckett, Tyrone Tremaine rounding out our top 5. Now, it hasn't been plain sailing for Jason Hedges in testing.
Well, Jason Hedges, you are the championship leader, mate. How does it feel coming into your first ever event leading the Pro Stock Championship?
Not real good because we haven't got down yet yesterday and today, so we've come up here and Willowbank's always tricky for us and yeah, being the leader coming out here and not being able to put a pass down in 5 hits is quite embarrassing really. So we're thrashing now, we've got a lot to do and playing with the gearbox, clutch, you name it, we're trying to get after it. We've got our first round up against Scotty Porter. And if we don't get through that round, well, that's our night done, more or less, in the championship chase for points. So
now, we know you had a pretty good setup back in Sydney when it was fairly warm. This is a whole nother deal up here at Willowbank. You're short on crew this weekend. You're pitching in and doing your bit as well. How much pressure is this going to put on you not being able to put it down a representative run in testing so far?
Yeah, you hit the nail there. We thought Sydney, we're kind of identical conditions, yeah, on the trip up in the hauler all the time. We got this covered, man. The car's right. It should roll off the trailer. No, absolutely not. Everything we thought out the window. So, yeah, we are short on crew, so we're thrashing here, you know, but, you know, we'll get it done. There's no doubt about it. But, yeah, it's really, really hectic down in our pit at the moment.
Let's have a look at the quickest elapsed times for the season so far. Wayne Daly up there with his 6:91. Tremaine, then Daly again, then it's Tremaine. We don't see Hedges till 9 and 10. He raced his way to that win at opening round, and you know he is going to need some performance here this weekend at the New Year Thunder at Willowbank Raceway. Round 1 Pro Stock coming up. With me in commentary, as always, is Mark Allen, the factory hot rods Mark. And late afternoon, track conditions still a bit tricky.
They are similar to what we had at Sydney Dragway. It is very, very warm here at Willowbank Raceway. It's been getting close to 60 degrees on track temp. It is a little bit greasy on track, but I was talking to the teams before this round of racing. There's a lot of moisture in there, a lot of water, which is robbing these guys of a bit of horsepower in these carbureted engines.
So a big crowd in at Willowbank Raceway for the New Year Thunder. Wayne Daly there being guided into the pre-stage beams by young Obi Ward. He is is running up against Rob Deckett in the unique body smash repairs car. Deckett's got out pretty smartly, but it looks like Daly's going to have the horsepower to take the win. A 7:07, 303 kilometres an hour. Deckett a 7:23, 307.
Let's have a look at the Sunoco replay here. These guys were 3rd and 4th in the championship coming into this round of racing. Deckett got out to the 60 foot a little bit quicker than Daly, but the horsepower of Daly's car got him the win. Deckett might have just missed the setup slightly here on this pass, but Wayne Daly in these conditions, that 7:0 laps time, just bunning it off early. Great run for the team.
Yeah, we are running the 400 Thunder 3-round all-run system here as we ride along board with Wayne Daly in the Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Dodge. So that means we're going to see all of these Pro Stock cars 3 times, but after the first 2 rounds, the top 2 point scorers will have qualified to run in the championship final, and the other racers will come out and run for some more points onto that tally. But the trophy, the winner of that championship final. We've got a good first round match up here, Mark.
It is the 2 brothers racing against each other here in round 1. Aaron Tremaine, Tyrone Tremaine. I just don't remember these guys ever matching up in round 1 because they're always up the pointy end of qualifying. They're always up high in the points, but right now they are 2nd and 5th in the championship.
Plenty of brotherly love until the green light flashes, and it is Tyrone this time. A 7:04 beats a 7:05, and big speeds this time, 3:15 to 3:14. Rusty Gregory's on the start line with a happy dad.
Yeah, boys down here with Kerry Tremaine, the boy's dad. And, mate, it's not often you say that Aaron got beaten at both ends of the racetrack. He was 2nd off the start line, and he was 2nd to the finish line, mate. That's a win for Tyrone.
Yeah, no, it's really good to see, actually. So, yeah, Tyrone's been struggling a bit lately, so to get a win's only give his confidence up. So it'd be really good.
Absolutely, mate. It is a bit of a blow for Aaron in the championship, though, because that is points that go begging.
Yeah, I don't think he's been too worried about 8 championships. I don't think. Too worried about it.
Well, 8 championships for Aaron Tremaine, but Tyrone would love to get his first, that's for sure.
How about this, Rob? Win margin across the finish line for Tyrone Tremaine, 0.009 of a second. 9,000ths of a second win margin there for Tyrone Tremaine.
And the black Camaro looked a little bit unsettled off the start line, so I think that car's got some left in it yet. Next up, this is the man that we heard from earlier, Jason Hedges. He's had some problems in testing. Wheelie bars broke or something like that?
Yeah, the wheelie bars broke. They pierced the rear slicks, so he had to go to his backup slicks. The issue with the backup slicks, they were a little bit bigger in a rollout compared to the old slicks. So the tune-up they had from Sydney Dragway, they just threw it out the window because they got to find the new clutch settings, the new tyre pressures, and you might as well throw out the gear ratio as well. So these guys are 0 from 5 so far here at Willowbank Raceway in testing. This is round 1, Rob.
They can't afford any mistakes either because they're up against Scotty Porter in the Porter's Racing Mustang, and this car is showing plenty of horsepower on the dyno, and I think he is ready to pounce if our championship leader has any sort of problem at all. And pounce he has. Scott Porter will get it. 7:06, 309, and Jason Hedges still back there with a 7:16. Oh, that's a big win, Rusty.
Yeah, down here with Paul Porter, Scott's dad, mate, 7:05. Not a bad one for your first competition race of the season.
Yeah, fantastic, Rusty. Yeah, we haven't raced since June, and we got caught out with the rain there, but in the off months there, we've done a lot of work, and got to thank Aaron Tremaine and the Tremaine family, and they've done a huge amount of work on our engine and our car, and I'd just like to thank them, especially our crew and my son Scott, who just drove awesomely well. So it's great to win.
Sunoco replay here. Jason Hedges on screen. You've got to take the positives out of every pass right now. This was a step in the right direction for them after what they've done so far in testing. They got it down the track. It was the quickest pass so far they've done this weekend. It wasn't enough, but it is a step in the right direction.
Well, yeah, Scott Porter, though, he's a 7-0 in the heat. That really does show that that car can be a contender here at the New Year Thunder tonight. It's been a while between win lights for Scott, so I think he's going to be pretty happy with this one.
Matey, we have Scotty Porter down here. We've got him back from the braking area. You're very excited getting down there, a bit late on the brakes. How does it feel to get a win in round 1?
Mate, that's excellent. Like we've had this new combination, everything sort of come together then. It was a good team effort all round.
Well, we can't wait to see what you do in round 2.
Might be the most.
Definitely is about the best mow in pro stock, you could say. Tyrone Tremaine gets the biggest haul of points on 28. Scott Porter on 26. He's right up there. Wayne Daly on 25. Aaron Tremaine got plenty of bonus points, but only 5 points for the lose. Jason Hedges and Rob Deckett, those three have got plenty of work to do if they want to make that championship final. Moving now to round 1 of Serco Pro Bike for the New Year Thunder. This is the second round of the championship for these guys. Kicked off down at the Atlantic Oil East Coast Thunder in Sydney Dragway. And of course, a great performance down there by Glenn Worcester put him onto the top of the sheets. Let's have a look at that 400 Thunder official merchandise scoreboard. Glenn Worcester on top, 118. Daniel Rabnott, Tony Frost and Scott White. A name missing though is Luke Crowley, the guy that was the first into the sixes last year, the first ever in Pro Bike.
Luke Crowley, the first man to run a 6-second pass in Australian Pro Bike history. Last season, we saw your first 6-second run at the Nitro Champs, obviously, or the Nitro Thunder, I should say. It took a long time to get to that after years of being anchored in the 7-second zone. Why do you think that was?
So initially we had a little bit of a drive issue with the clutch, so we weren't driving the clutch fast enough, soon enough. So the bike was momentarily sitting still for 0.2 of a second. So our 60 foots were always down, were always a little bit slow. And as we all know, if you don't have a quick 60, you're not going to get the half fast or the second half of the racetrack. So we've found something in there and in Sydney, and we're trying something completely different again this weekend. The track's going to be hot and greasy as it is. So what worked down there won't work here today.
We know that there's been a couple of bikes that have run sixes since your first 6-second run. Do you think there's any chance this season that the record might get a little bit of a touch-up, or do you think it's going to stay there for a little while?
I guarantee it's going to get a touch-up.
Nothing like confidence. Well, that's where we are this season so far. It is Glenn Worcester, 1-5 in the quickest ETs. Then Scott White, Worcester again, Rabnott, Scott White, Rabnott. Now, can Luke Crowley just change that all around, Mark?
I think Luke Crowley can definitely throw some ETs into that, especially after what we saw him do last season. First up, though, here in round 1 of racing, we've got Lockie Island to take on Daniel Rabnott, second in the championship. Rabnott, we're on board with him right now, looking over at Lockie Island, his first race this season.
Yeah, Daniel Rabnott, he's headed south for the event, and of course Lockie Island comes north to get here to Willowbank Raceway, running for Johnny's Hog Shop. Pair of Suzukis going to the line for round 1 of Serco Pro Bike. Big thank you to Serco, of course, been involved with motorcycle racing and in particular Pro Bike for many, many years.
So we know down in Sydney, Rabnott was runner-up, but they had some new gearing on the bike. It wasn't correct. It was running out of steam about half-track, so it was getting to half-track really quick, but then it didn't have the top end that they were used to. They hopefully got it sorted here this weekend.
Well, Rabnott came out of the hole very well. Lockie Island sat up with a problem. Oh, Rabnott got pretty close to that centre line. He actually went over it in the braking area, but that doesn't matter. He gets the win, a 760, but you can't touch that centre line before the actual finish of our quarter mile, our 400 metre track, or it is instant disqualification. That got close, Mark.
Yeah, look at the Sunoco replay here. When you're doing almost 300k an hour like these guys on the bike are, that centre line would have been feeling awfully close with that tunnel vision you get from the speed that you're travelling. As we look front on the Sunoco vision, you can see there he's going towards the centre line, not sure if Island. He was leaning the bike up, trying to keep it away from that line, but Daniel Rabnott gets the win.
Yeah, we quickly grabbed Daniel Rabnott down here, mate. It's a bit of a wild ride there trying to stay off the centre line. Looks like you're getting somewhere with the bike.
Yeah, slowly but surely. We're just trying to figure out what's happening in the deep end, but yeah, we got down the track. Wasn't looking too promising on the first one, but we just keep tinkering, eh?
Well, you grabbed the round 1 point, so good luck in round 2.
Excellent. Cheers.
There was a look of relief on Daniel Rabnott's face there, I think.
It was, wasn't it? Next up, we've got Andrew Badcock. He's got the solo pass here in round 1 of Racing Pro Bike. They've got a new camshaft on board this engine this weekend. They're looking to improve on their PB, which is a 745. It will be tough in these hot conditions on the Pro Bike, but there's no pressure for him. It's all about the point. He's already got the win points here, so it's about the ET and looking for some bonus points right now.
Yeah, he does all his own thing on this Pro Cycle Dyno Pro bike. Now, he got a little out of the groove as well, but it's got it right back down the middle, 744 to 81.
Well, that's a PB for the team. That's pretty good. The bike was moving around. 744, 100th PB right there. And in these conditions, in the heat, and he was twitching, it wasn't a perfect pass. There's a bit more in this bike already.
Well, the only bike in the field running a Suzuki Hayabusa style engine, and that's a rare thing in pro bike, but it's got him to the win.
We're down here with Andrew Badcock, mate. You went for a bit of a tour down the beach end, but nothing wrong with the bike. 744, you pretty happy with that?
Yeah, no, it's a lot left in it. I wasn't flat, so we've got more to go for sure. Front brakes were a little bit of a problem, but didn't want to stop. So, Christmas holidays, I thought I'd go and look at the sand and bring my bucket, Well,
it's always good to get a buy in first round and get those points started.
Yeah, definitely. No, really happy. And we went fast as our ET. 744 is our new PB, so really good. Yeah, happy.
We'll let the crew get you back around too.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the water.
Have a look at this for a matchup. Championship leader, and he comes up against Luke Crowley. And Worcester v Crowley, the two 6-second bikes in the country.
What a matchup in round one. Glenn Worcester, he's coming into this event off some fine form. We've seen how many passes he had in that top 10 for the quickest ETs and pro bike. The thing with Luke Crowley this weekend, it is an entire new clutch system on the bike, and they have not done a test pass yet. This is their first pass with the new setup right now on track. What a way to start. I'm not too sure. It's a big call.
Well, Crowley's had to put a whole new setup in the bike to account for the change in track conditions from last season when he set that record-breaking 6-second pass. Glenn Worcester for Foursquare Group. He has been looking strong for quite some time and grabs a big hole shot off the line. Crowley would need a miracle to come back from that.
Glenn Worcester all the way, 706, 302 kilometres an hour, continues on his fine form from Sydney Dragway. Luke Crowley with a good pass as well first up, but it was all Glenn Worcester. Sunoco replay, look at him just take off. That bike was quick off the start line. Luke Crowley was very, very slow, very sluggish. Like that bike didn't react at all to the tree. That's watching him very slow in the reaction time. Glenn Worcester was on the money straight off the bat.
Yeah, Crowley gave him 0.2 of a second on the start line. You don't get that back. And Worcester, he was gone. He wasn't even in the onboard shot.
Glenn Worcester, mate, the wins continue after Sydney. Get yourself a round one victory.
Yeah, no, look, that's great. The team and all our sponsors make this possible for us, and I'm still getting the breath back. Look, that was wild. I thought it felt good, but they've got it going really good now. So I'm glad over the break we've done the work, and hopefully keep coming out, turning it on for the crowd and having fun. So yeah, Foursquare Group, great. Hey, thank you.
Good luck in round two.
Thanks, guys. Thanks very much.
Well, after one round of racing in Serco Pro Bike, Glenn Worcester is on top of the heap. Andrew Badcock, Daniel Rabnott, they're the three with first round wins. You've got to expect the championship finalists to come from that trio. Fantastic racing in Pro Stock, in Pro Bike, and we've got plenty more of it coming your way. It's all at Willowbank Raceway's New Year Thunder after the break. The sun is set here at Willowbank Raceway for the New Year Thunder as we move into round two of Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock. The cooler conditions, Mark, that's going to change things.
Well, naturally, these carburetor cars are going to make a little bit more horsepower straight up, but the track becomes a little bit more forgiving now that the sun is off it. So that means they can get a little bit more aggressive off the start line. So the 60 foot should improve slightly as well. There's less chance of tyre spin and tyre shake as well in that scenario. So we should see the performances improve right now in Pro Stock. We're on board with Wayne Daly backing up after that burnout. Aaron Tremaine in the other lane beside him. They're trialling some new clutch plates this weekend, and they're still trying to find that sweet spot for those as well.
Well, you got to feel for Aaron Tremaine. Round one, he comes up against his brother, who is in great form. And round two, he comes up against probably the most powerful pro stock car in the country. Wayne Daly in the Diamond T Custom Toolbox's Dodge. Daly's had some fun and games getting the setup right on that yellow Dodge, but he has looked very good in testing again and was very, very convincing in round one. Aaron Tremaine, 8 times Australian Pro Stock champion for Next Gen Engineering. You know he's no easy beat, so already first pairing of round 2, and I'd have to say this is what we would have picked as race of the round.
I think if these guys race each other 10 times tonight, you would split it 50-50 down the middle of the winner.
Start line so important in pro stock, and Tremaine grabs a little bit of a hole shot.
And the horsepower to Wayne Daly goes 705, 307 kilometres an hour. Aaron Tremaine goes 720 beside him at 800's hole shot on the start line. Normally, Aaron Tremaine converts those into a win, but right now you can see how shake. He pedalled that pro stock car there off the start line. That is incredible.
To be able to do that, mate.
That's incredible.
Normally if you get off the power on one of these cars, the gearbox automatically goes into neutral, but he was able to hang on to that gear shift, keep it in gear and get on and off the throttle. Still came up with a respectable pass, but nowhere near enough to match Wayne Daly in the Diamond T Custom Toolboxes car. Daly looked to drive it through a little bit that time too.
Next pairing up, we've got Jason Hedges on the start line to take on Scott Porter, which is a rematch of round 1 of racing. Our championship leader, Jason Hedges, looking for some revenge here in round 2 against Scott Porter. The thing with Scott Porter in testing, the increments for this car were pointing towards their first ever 6-second pass. So all those changes that they've made in the off seasons for Scott Porter here, the changes to the chassis and the setup of the car, they're going in the right direction, so that's definitely a good step for the team.
Well, Jason Hedges v Scott Porter, second time tonight. In round 1, the pairings are decided by championship standings. In round 2, it's decided on how many points each racer scored in round 1. And in this case, these two face each other again. The result will be different though. Red light for Porter.
There it is, 0.06 of a second red light for Scott Porter. Hands the automatic win to Jason Hedges. Hedges improves though, goes 713, 304 kilometres an hour. So that's another step in the right direction for that team as well, Rusty.
Yeah, down here with Danny Silva, crew chief for Jason Hedges. Mate, a win's a winner. 713 probably wasn't what you were looking for, but it still lit up the scoreboards.
Yep, we got the win, so that's the main thing. We've been struggling a bit this weekend. We did a bit of testing yesterday, couldn't get down the track, so we're just happy to get down the track at this stage. So the win light's good. We'll take it how we can get it.
Have a look here. You got a feel for Scott Porter. 0.06 of a second too early on the lights. Car might have been creeping a little bit. I'm not sure. Let's have a look in the Sunoco replay. Maybe that was just trying too hard.
You can't be up a driver when you go 6,000 straight. You know, he was on the money there. This time it just didn't fall in his favour. It was on the red side. But if you don't go red once in a while, you're not trying hard enough, the old saying, drag racing.
That'll be a very valuable 20 championship points for Jason Hedges. That is for sure. So Tyrone Tremaine. Now, he had a win in round 1. Wayne Daly's already got 2 wins.
Well, I can tell you, Rob, that Wayne Daly is one of the finalists now.
Correct. And if Tyrone Tremaine can win this race, he will also have 2 wins from 2 starts to go in beside him. But Rob Deckett, Unique Body Smash Repairs, he is on screen. He is in the other lane. If he is able to grab a win light here, it throws it open to all of those that have got 1 win from 2 starts, and the top point scorer will be the one that goes through to face Wayne Daly's Diamond T Custom Toolboxes car in the championship final.
It will be a tough race here. Tyrone Tremaine, you can probably say the last 12 months they really struggled with little minor gremlins on this car. That first round of racing really showed this team it's got that performance back.
Nice hole shot for Rob Deckett, but the car appeared a little bit loose off the start line, close to the centre line. He pulls the chutes, and it will be Tyrone Tremaine, a 7:02.315. We got Matt Kavanagh in the deep end to talk to the winners.
Wayne Daly's already left. He had some dramas getting the Hans device off, so he's had to turn that car around quickly. He knows he could be going through to the final, but Jason Hedges, you get yourself a win.
Oh, obviously, yeah. So against the Mustang, I don't know what it ran, but yeah, I'll take the win. It's about points us. We lost the first round, so we're just going to make sure we can get to another win now to try and maintain a good spot in this championship.
Yeah, mate, it's all about points at this second round here at New Year's Thunder, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and you know, and all these guys are so tough. These are the hardest hitting guys here, so every race really counts. We got to be on our game, and hopefully we can get another one.
Have a look at this in the Sunoco replay, and it was a nice little hole shot there to Deckett.
You could visually see that hole shot for Deckett. He got off the start line very, very strong, but then he started heading towards the centre line where he had to button it off. These Pro Stock cars don't have much downforce at all at top end there at the charge, so it's usually the smart decision just to roll off the throttle and keep the car nice and straight.
Yeah, and I think by that point you'll see Tyrone Tremaine had driven on by, so the race was run, and it will be another Tremaine win.
Yeah, it is going to shake up the championship points. Tyrone Tremaine, though, you're pretty happy you're going through to a final with Wayne Daly.
Yeah, mate, that's good, eh? I didn't know who I'd be in the final with, but we'll go out and see if we can put him away as well.
Looks like he might have got you on the light, but plenty of power there to go round out the outside of him.
Yeah, mate, I don't know how good my light was then, but it wasn't as good as it should have been, but that's all right. We'll get out there and we'll get it right the next time.
Yeah, good luck in round 3.
Thanks, mate.
Well, after a run of little mechanical gremlins, Tyrone Tremaine, he is just absolutely oozing with confidence, and he's on top of the points. He will face Wayne Daly. Jason Hedges, that was very important. That's going to keep him in touch with the championship. It's Aaron Tremaine that's sliding backwards at a rapid rate of knots. Serco Pro Bike round 2 coming up now, and well, things are getting mixed up a little bit in the Pro Bike Championship, that is for sure.
Yeah, we got Andrew Badcock on screen coming forward. A great PB in round 1 of racing on this Hayabusa Pro Cycle Dyno Pro Bike. Ran a 7:44. He has lane choice here in round 2 up against Daniel Rabnot. Rabnot ran a 7:60 in the first round, still down on their performance that we know that bike can do. This will be a really, really close matchup here.
Well, both guys have got a win in the first round. They will be desperate to try and pick up a second win here, because that will more than likely put them through to the final of Serco Pro Bike. And you got to say that Freddie Badcock, he has to be very, very pleased with the way this Pro Cycle Dyno bike is progressing. Daniel Rabnot, he'd be a little bit worried that he's not getting the best out of his bike yet.
Hole shot to Badcock. And it's going to be all Andrew Badcock here. Gets the win, goes 7:42, 279 kilometres per hour. Another PB for the team here. 2 wins from 2 starts. Daniel Rabnot goes 7:61 in the lane beside him. We're on board here. Sunoco replay of Rabnot. We can see Badcock there leaving the bike. There was a little bit of smoke. It looks like I can't really see it there on the vision, but hopefully it's not any sort of telltale sign of any issues with the engine.
Let's have a look at this head-on shot. Now, Rabnot was there to half track, and then Badcock started to draw away, but you can see that smoke. It looks like it's coming out of around the engine area. It might be a little oil leak.
Well, Andrew Badcock, you get yourself a win and another PB, a 7:42. The little engine in this bike's going really well.
It's going great, man. The little sucker's starting to make some bit more power. We're starting to find the most out of it. We're sneaking up on it slowly. We've done 5 passes in a row now where it's gone quicker and quicker every single pass, leading back from the Winter Nationals. So, yeah, we're pumped, and we've got 2 wins. So, yeah, great.
Well, you could be in the final.
Happy days.
I hope to see you again here in round 3 in the final.
Thanks a lot, man.
On a bye run will be Lockie Island on the Johnny's Hog Shop Suzuki. Now, Lockie didn't get the points and result he wanted in round 1. He will get the win points here, but he would need a lot of things to fall his way to go through to that championship final in Serco Pro Bike. What he'll be after is a nice ET here if he can. But the way that bike left the line, Mark, that'll cost him a little bit of lost time. Smoke again, but hey, that's a lot more. That is not looking good.
No, not at all. I'm down here with Johnny Ireland, Lockie's dad, mate. A lot of smoke out of the bike across the finish line. Looked like it continued all the way down through the braking area. What do you think the problem was, mate?
Well, look, it was a poor start right from the word go. Too much clutch in it and came out bucking. So he's got on as hard as he could to get it home as fast as he could get it, and let's just hope we didn't hurt anything.
Well, fingers crossed, mate, because it was pretty ugly right from the start, as you said, but nonetheless still went down there.
That's the way Lockie is. He never get off the throttle that one. He just goes hard or he wouldn't be here.
We've had Lockie Island pull up now, and there's just a little bit of oil under the bike. What do you think might have gone wrong?
I reckon it spun the wheel off the line, so it jumped out of the hole. I dare say it might have maybe pumping a bit of oil out of one of the oil lines to the cylinder head.
Yeah, well, you haven't had a lot of luck here tonight, have you, at the New Year's Thunder? It's the first time back for the season. Do you think you can turn the bike around?
We'll go back, have a look. I reckon we probably can. The first one, it dropped the wire off the coil, so it cost me the first round. Lucky I got the solo then, but we'll see what we can't repair.
Glenn Worcester for four square components, and guess what? The way the points fall, he faces this man again. Luke Crowley on the first 6-second bike in Australia. He gave away 0.2 of a second on the start line in round one. You know he's not likely to do that again, Mark.
Well, I can tell you Luke Crowley was about a 1/10.5 of a second down at the 60 foot to what the bike normally would do. Take that away from his 720 ET, he's going to be right beside Glenn Worcester.
I think he's made a liar of me. He's given away a big jump on the start again, and it is all Glenn Worcester. 713, 302 kilometres an hour. 2 wins from 2 starts, Rusty.
Yeah, guys, down here with Clint from Glenn Worcester's crew, mate. That's another win, 713. Good way to do it.
Yeah, it was a good win, mate. Look, we've been working on a few things. Wheelie bar heights, clutch adjustment, ignition timing, just to try and get it off the line a bit harder. And it seems to be working really well. So we'll go back and turn around and see how we go.
The bike seems to be smooth. That's the word to describe it at the moment. It's getting off the line nicely. It's doing everything you want it to do. Is that all by design?
Trevor Beryl. Yep. There's only one way to explain it. Yeah, he does a wonderful job on it. You know, we have Sean, Sam, all these people over in Adelaide who work on it when we're over there, you know, servicing it, and they do a wonderful job, mate. It just forever going forward, this bike is never the same each meeting. So just happy, you know. Hopefully we can pop it up a bit more and see what we can get out of it.
I think you're going through to a final.
We're going all right, that's good. Then, you know, it's thanks to Early Waste and Foursquare Group and Tigon and Stanford Tyres and Luke Berry at Precision Porting. All these guys make this happen. I get the fun bit. And it's not fun today in the heat, but I'm loving it now. Now we've had a couple of wins. It always makes it worthwhile. And the people here have been great today, so thank you.
We love having you at the track. Good luck in the finals.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks very much. See you out there.
Have a look at this on the scoreboard. Glenn Worcester 56, Andrew Badcock 52. They'll contest the championship final. Daniel Rabnott, Lockie Island, Luke Crowley, they're all scoring some points, but man, the big interest is up there at the top. Now we have got the final of Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock coming up. The final of Serco Pro Bike coming up. And we've got the final of all of our 400 Thunder Sportsman categories as well. All after this break. Big crowd still in here at Willowbank Raceway. It is the New Year Thunder, second round of the championship for the pro categories. But before we get into those, we've got some fantastic sportsman racing to come your way. Hey, there's Ben Bray. There's no Pro Slammer running tonight, but he's out here enjoying this round of the 400 Thunder Series.
First up, we move into the Super Street Final. So basically, Super Street for sedan cars, it is a die-your-own bracket. Basically, first to get to the finish line, you don't quicker than the time that you've nominated, and you don't go red, you will get the win light.
So Wade Moran, he's normally races like in Super Stock or in Top Sportsman, but he's brought his ute out here, his work ute, and he's running against James Nataris. And you've got to say that maybe, just maybe, Wade Moran has got a pretty good sort of work ute for SWC Automotive. Gets out with a nice light. And it's going to be a chase down the end to see who comes up with a prime sign Speedelec Super Street trophy for the New Year Thunder.
And the win light goes to Wade. Moran goes 12.69 seconds on his 12.66 dial in for the win. James Ataris goes 11.46 on his 11.45. He was closer to the dial in, but the reaction time advantage to Wade Moran got him the win here in the final of Super Street.
0.026 reaction time for Wade Moran is what set up that win. And he was able to hold on the advantage and play the game on the finish line and takes out Prime Signs Speedelec Super Street.
Now we move into Super Gas. Final. We have got on track Patrick Barron to take on Darren Ramsey. Now Super Gas is a heads-up bracket, 9.90 seconds. Nice and easy. Get to the finish line first. Don't go quicker than 9.90 seconds. You win. That simple.
The other difference, though, that we see, of course, is that in Super Gas, it's one flash of the ambers, just like the professional categories. So there is not the opportunity of the full tree. You watch this Christmas tree, it'll be one flash, they're gone. 990's the target. Ramsey v. Barron, and the whole shot advantage is with Patrick Barron by a considerable margin.
Patrick Barron, very experienced there, whomping the throttle, making sure he doesn't go quicker than 990, goes 995 for the win. Ramsey was quicker with a 995.1, but the reaction time again, the story here in Super Gas, Patrick Barron, very, very sharp on the tree, 0.23. Ramsey was a 1.28, so he had a whole tenth of a second whole shot advantage, and you could see him play the game. You heard him whomp the throttle there just to make sure he ensured that he didn't go quicker than 990.
Gotta love that big Chevy of Ramsey's though. Great finish in Super Gas as we move into, well, it's the juniors, it's the kids. 8 to 17 years of age in the Donnelly Blasting Services Junior Dragster category. Only racing over the 8th mile, around 200 metres. Jaden Seng to take on Samuel Perry.
How good does Jaden Seng's car look at those red LEDs underneath the car? He is dialed in at 8.15 seconds. Samuel Perry is dialed in at 8.25.
That rocking and rolling on the start line, that's him just trying to get the car into stage without blipping the throttle.
Oh no, red light for Samuel Perry, hands the win to Jaden Seng. He wins Junior Dragster, takes it through, goes an 8.03 and it's 8.15. Both drivers breaking up by a bunch here in the final.
0.23 light for Seng anyway, was always going to be sharp in DBS Junior Dragster. As we move now into Lifestyle Injury Lawyers Modified Bike, and a big welcome to Lifestyle Injury Lawyers, first-time sponsors of drag racing, and we'll be backing the motorcycles right throughout the season here at Willowbank Raceway.
And we've got a great pairing here in the final of Modified Bike. Tammy Goldthorpe on the far side of the racetrack, very experienced campaigner when it comes to modified bike, taking on Chris Colin on his bike. Normally he campaigns in performance bike, but today he's racing in modified bike. A bit of die-your-own racing for these two.
Yeah, it's his opportunity to do a bit of testing for Chris, and he's made it all the way through to the final. Tammy Goldthorpe, 001 reaction time. Impossible to beat. Chris Collin broke out trying. Goldthorpe gets the win. 8.83, 225 kilometres an hour. She's got the Lifestyle Personal Injury Lawyers Trophy.
Have a look at that. 001 on the tree. Chris Collin was a little bit further behind, 171. You cannot give Tammy Goldthorpe that much of an advantage. She will always convert that to a win. She does so here, runs an 8-second pass, gets a win, and gets the bonus points for the 400 Thunder Series.
Here is Modified Eliminator Final coming up, brought to us by Knife Earth Moving, long-time sponsors here at Willowbank Raceway. And this is a category that is close to your heart, Mark. We normally find you strapped in one of these, except when commentary duty intervenes.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to be able to call the racing and also experience the racing aspect side of things. Here at Modified Eliminator, it is a class for open vehicles, so the dragsters, altereds, funny cars, roadsters. It is a die-your-own class as well. We have got father versus daughter here in the final for the 400 Thunder Modified race here. Kelly Kidd near screen. Phil Ballett, her dad, in the far side of the racetrack. Phil Ballett will leave first. He's dialed in at 7.79 seconds. Kelly Kidd is 7.61 seconds.
0.18 of a second handicap start to Phil Ballett. And Well, Kelly is trying to do something about that start.
Kelly had the reaction time advantage and runs a 761 on a 761 dial in their great package. A 17 thousandths package for Kelly Kidd gets the win. Her dad, Phil, breaking out, trying to stay in front of her on the finish line here. You'll see Phil Bell actually cross the finish line first, but he went quicker than his nominated time, which hands the automatic win back to Kelly Kidd.
So Kelly Kidd beats her father to claim the Knife Earth Moving Modified Eliminator Trophy at the New Year Thunder with a near perfect run. Now, if you want to talk about 8th mile racing, what about this stuff? Pro Radial. These cars not running drag racing slicks, they are running a radial style tyre on the back. They only run over the 8th mile, but it's all about trying to put way too much horsepower through a radial tyre.
And in the final, we've got Graham McKinnon to take on Tanya Thompson. I've lost count how many finals Tanya Thompson has made it through to the radial event. She's not the quickest car, but she's definitely one of the quickest radial cars. She's got a little bit less horsepower than the other teams, but she's not as susceptible to the wheel spin that we see from the bigger horsepower cars, and she turns on those win lights more often than not.
It's about consistency for Tanya Thompson, and she is currently leading the 400 Thunder Australian Championship in this category. Can she claim another win at the New Year Thunder with the Commodore?
It is heads up. First to the finish line here wins. The win light goes to Tanya Thompson, 516, 222 kilometres an hour. Graham McKinnon, valiant effort there, 534, 204 kilometres an hour for the runner-up here in Pro Radial.
Have a look at the Sunoco replay. It's not bad when these cars both get over 200 kilometres an hour in 200 metres. I don't think the old HB Tiranas were ever designed to do that, but a great win in Pro Radial for Tanya Thompson. It is Serco Pro Bike time. We are into round 3. Luke Crowley has not had the evening he would have hoped for. Been beaten 2 times, both by Glenn Worcester. This time, though, he's going to come up against Daniel Rabnott. Now, what we've seen before sometimes with Luke Crowley is it takes him a couple of runs to get on top of the conditions and the setup for his bike. And in his first 6-second pass, it was a similar sort of deal to this. He hadn't made the final and came out and just went bang.
I spoke to Crowley after that last pass. They've got some issues with this new clutch setup on the bike. It's not reacting the way they normally would expect the clutch to. That's why it's a little bit slow off the line. Rabnott's had issues as well. It's pulling towards the centre line. They're trying to rectify that. Crowley, though, finally gets a win, goes 711, 308 kilometres an hour. Rabnott goes 784, 238 kilometres an hour. Still going towards the centre line, though, for Rabnott. They've still got that issue there on the bike.
Have a look at the Sunoco replay, and you see Rabnott disappear in the distance as, Luke Crowley, I bet he wishes he had those 7.1 performances earlier on today. He would have been up there into that final. But drag racing is full of woulda, coulda, shoulda. But more than anything, it's worth 20 championship points to Crowley when the win light clicks on. Now, one racer we won't be seeing is Lockie Island. He should have had a bye this round, but it wasn't an oil line in round 2. It was an absolutely grenading engine. So that team forced to sit out round 3 as we go straight into this, the championship final in Serco Pro Bike. Big thank you to Serco, importers of motorcycle parts, components, and of course a major motorcycle workshop over there at Capella. Glenn Worcester for Force Wear Components. He is our championship leader and our high point scorer at the moment. But what about Andrew Freddie Badcock? He has been looking, 5 PBs in a row, the last 5 passes. You can't ask for more than that.
It's incredible. And he told me it's the first time a Hayabusa motorbike has made a final for Pro Bike as well. Can he get that to a win?
Yes, he can. Problems for Glenn Worcester. He got close to the centre line, had to roll off the throttle, and a 757, 275 kilometres an hour. Badcock takes the first Pro Bike win in the world for a Hayabusa engined motorcycle.
He was hoping for a 7:30 pass here in the final. The bike got out of the groove a little bit, it ran off, but he is going to be ecstatic no matter what here, getting the win on this bike for Andrew Badcock. Look at this. Worcester was away. Worcester was in front. Then he obviously was getting towards the centre line. He had to back off. Andrew Babcock, winner here for the New Year Thunder and Pro Bike.
Andrew Babcock gets himself a gold Christmas tree, mate. The Mighty Mouse has made it. You got yourself through for a win.
How good is that, guys? This all-run format is just excellent. When a bike like this that's not top of the heap, running in 740s, an old Hayabusa, and we can go and do this. You know, it's excellent. I'm just ecstatic.
Congratulations.
Thanks again, guys. Thanks so much.
Great win for the Pro Cycle Dyno team. Glenn Worcester didn't get the gold, but he has got now a absolute stranglehold on the 400 Thunder official merchandise points board. Rabnot has got up into second spot. Badcock has moved into third as that pro bike battle is going to continue all season. Here we go into round 3 of Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock, and it will be Aaron Tremaine for Tremaniac Racing. He has, not made a final for the first time in I don't know how long, and he will be facing Jason Hedges. This pair came to this event 1 and 2 in the points, and now they are going to slip a long way down, I think.
It's crazy. Pro Stock in round 2 of the championship. 20 points will be vital here for either driver in round 3 here of the New Year Thunder. Aaron Tremaine coming forward.
Riding on board with Tremaine. He did something I've never seen with a Pro Stock car in round 2. Actually got on and off the throttle and was able to still save the pass. Jason Hedges is going to be desperate for some win points here, but he is up against the 8-time champion, and guess what? We saw a red light on the tree, and I think Aaron Tremaine saw it too. Oh, Hedges! Way out of shape. He's got trouble in the top end. Man, that thing was so far sideways. Pro Stock cars fall over in the top end. They're not supposed to slide sideways.
We're on board Aaron Tremaine. Sunoco replay here. Red light by 5,000ths of a second in the other lane. He got shake again, Aaron Tremaine.
Yeah, the tyre shake was so bad that it shook the camera loose. But look at Hedges. Was very late on the chutes, late on the brakes, and man, oh man, he was going so deep. His crew chief, Danny Salva, was watching it on the big screen. We saw a shot of him before, and he was just absolutely in shock.
Yeah, guys, down here with Danny Silva, who just watched the replay, and I think the facial expression said it all, mate. That was a good drive.
Oh, sure was. And that just sums up our weekend. We've just been fighting the car all weekend and then finish on that, you know. So just, I hope he's all right. But, yeah, he done well to save that thing then, for sure.
Well, there is Jason Hedges. Man, I reckon his heart rate is absolutely on the limit. How that thing didn't fall over, I don't know. And there's Aaron Tremaine as well, was very concerned for him, obviously. But Tremaine gets those 20 points. Jason Hedges will have to be satisfied with 5, and that is going to be interesting to see how it is reflected on the 400 Thunder official merchandise scoreboard later. Here is Rob Deckett for Unique Body Smash Repairs. The Victorian looking to see whether he can continue the advances he's making with the performance of this car. Running on his own in round 3 of Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock. We don't have Scotty Porter back.
Yeah, Porter had some minor damage after that round 2 race.
Or Deckett got over to the centre line again. That's twice. But he'll still get those points with an 8.79. Hey, Matt's now caught up with Jason Hedges.
Well, that definitely got the adrenaline racing, but the good news is Jason Hedges, not a scratch on the car. How did you get away with that?
Yeah, it was pretty wild. It was completely sideways. I looked at it one wall, then the next wall, and then thought, yeah, it's going to make a bang, but I thought if I just keep trying to correct the wheel, and luck was on our side, yeah.
It's been a big weekend for you too. You've already had some broken wheelie bars and things like that earlier in testing.
It has not been our weekend. We're all tired, we're all a bit grumpy, but that definitely got my attention there. So not a good way to finish the weekend. I believe we just red lit by 002, was it? Yeah, by 2 1,000ths of a second. So we knew we had to be good against the best in the sport. And but yeah, I just was late on the chutes and.
I'll have a look at this for Rob Deckett, the Sunoco replay. Massive crowd still in the stands here at Willowbank Raceway's New Year Thunder. That car just on the transition there from concrete to hot mix, I think the car just took a little bit more of a step to the right. It was already steering that way.
Yeah, it was on a good pass. It was looking around a 7-0 pass if he was able to hold it on, but it wasn't to be. We are now moving into the championship final for Pro Stock, brought to us by Diamond T Custom Toolboxes. We've got Wayne Daly to the right of screen to take on Tyrone Tremaine to the left of screen.
Yeah, Wayne Daly and his Diamond T Custom Toolboxes company not only backing the category here at the New Year Thunder, but also, of course, his Dodge team. But what about Tyrone Tremaine? He's been a bridesmaid so many times. He's finished second in the championship on a number of occasions. He's probably got more silver Pro Stock Christmas trees than anybody in Australia for runner-up positions. He is desperate to take this one out, but he was whole shot in the second round. Wayne Daly has had, I think, some very good performances out of this car tonight and has been moving forward round by round with its ET. So this should be a great final.
I'm just doing the maths in my head, Rob. I can tell you right now that no matter what happens in this final, Wayne Daly will leave here Willowbank Raceway with the championship lead. It'll just depend by how much.
Revs come up, first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. They're in fifth already. And it will be Tremaine. 700 beats a 707. Big speed advantage for Tyrone Tremaine there at 316 kilometres an hour. Mum and Dad are happy. The whole Next Gen Engineering team celebrate on the start line on the Sunoco replay. I don't think he was ever going to be beat.
Yeah, let's break it down. He had 1,000th of a second whole shot on the start line. He crosses the finish line with the quickest pass of the weekend, that 700, win margin for 700ths of a second to Tyrone Tremaine.
Yeah, Wayne Daly riding on board with him now, and he does actually get off the throttle and pull the chutes early because he knew that Tyrone Tremaine was gone.
Mate, the Pro Stock winner, Tyrone Tremaine, congratulations. It's been a while between drinks, but you're happy to be holding this now, aren't you?
Yeah, mate, I haven't won one of these for a long time. It's great to get it back, and, you know, just thanks Tremaine Racing and Six Boost and everything they do for us. Like, we couldn't be here and do it without my mum and dad, without them, my wife and my kid, and I've got another one on the way, and hopefully one that so she can get back in a dragster. But to get a win again, and, you know, I went out there and I tried my heart out, and I've had a bit of trouble with my driving lately, so it's great to get a win again. Thank you very much. Willowbank Raceway and 400 Thunder.
See you back in May.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a look at the 400 Thunder official merchandise scoreboard. Wayne Daly has gone to the top of the heap, just 2 points clear of Tyrone Tremaine. Jason Hedges is still in it, 165. Aaron Tremaine's back on 148. Rob Deckett, Scott Porter, Cavello, Leake, Soldatis and Clint George round out the top 10. Next time you've got the opportunity to get trackside for 400 Thunder professional drag racing. It's the Santos Super Thunder at Willowbank Raceway. Good Friday, the 10th of April. Top Fuel, Pro Alcohol, Pro Slammer, Top Bike, plus Sportsman Racing, all in a one-day show. Then, of course, we head back to Sydney Dragway. You can get out there to the western suburbs for the Gulf Western Oil Nitro Thunder on May 1 and 2. Every category of 400 Thunder professional drag racing, plus the Sportsman again. So it's been a great, great event at Willowbank Raceway for the New Year Thunder. The Pro Bikes turned it on. Congratulations to Andrew Badcock on grabbing the first ever win for a Hayabusa-powered bike. And of course, well, Wayne Daly didn't get the gold, but he did get the championship lead in the Diamond T Custom Toolboxes car. And Tyrone Tremaine now, the confidence is up. He's going to be very hard to beat.
Coming up after the break, we head to the Silverstone circuit in the UK for rounds 25 to 27 of the 2019 British Touring Car Championship.